What you don't track, you can't refine. And what you don't refine won't pay you in time. And honestly, this was the biggest shift for me when I started taking trading seriously. Because the number one quality I see in every consistently profitable trader, no exceptions at all, isn't some secret strategy or indicator. It is this, that they track their trades, they journal their trades, they collect data. They know exactly what they're trading, when they're trading, and why they're trading this. And personally as well, when I stopped trading off memory and started trading off data, everything changed for me. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I journal and collect data. And yes, I'll be walking you through TradeZella because it's clean, it's fast, and it actually does the job really well. Now let's talk about why I prefer TradeZella and what makes it actually useful, because there are a lot of journaling solutions out there, right? There are some simple spreadsheets that you can use, some are charts you have to edit manually, which I was using personally for a very long time. I would always keep a simple trading document, and in that document I would write, what I did right in that trade, what I did wrong, what I felt during the trade, what I learned, and what I'll do differently next time, right? That's it. There's no fancy formatting, no perfection, just honesty. Now, maybe you already know this, or maybe you'll actually, realize this in the future, that if you're not actually being honest in your journal, you're not going to improve as fast as you wish you would. And journaling alone fixes a lot of traders' psychology. So TradeZella, to me, it hits the balance between structure and clarity. And before we jump deeper into it, right, why I prefer using this platform to journal my trades, there is going to be a link in the description for the TradeZella journal. So don't forget to check it out and start journaling your trades. Now, the reason I moved to TradeZella is because how easy it is to track your progress, and majority of it is done automatically for you, right? Also, TradeZella has become an industry standard as well. And one of the things I absolutely love is the dashboard. You can get so much info and outlook on your performance, your day-to-day, your weekly, your monthly performance. Now, I've got 2 accounts logged in. One is a funded account that I passed last month, and the other is the account from the 1 million in funding challenge, which I've already spoken to you guys about. Now, TradeZilla is an absolute gold mine when it comes to the data side, right? And this is why I actually like it. When you log your trades into TradeZilla or sync your broker or platform account, it removes emotions from the review process. Now, at a glance, I can tell, how my previous week was, how did I perform. I can also see my net P&L. I can see my trade win percentage. Now, this one is slightly higher than my usual average percentage, and that is because these accounts are fairly new. Now, I know over a period of time, when I have a bigger sample of trades to work through, this percentage will go back to what I actually, on average, score. As I scroll down, you'll also see the trade duration performance, the trade time performance, my average win, average loss. So it's quite actually informative here, right? So this alone is telling me quite a bit. So I've been a big advocate of actually looking at your progress in percentage. That is why, the data that you see here is also set in that. Now, you do have the option to change it to dollars or pips or points. This is all up to your personal preference. Now, this so far already tells me a lot about my behavior. For example, this last week, was I growing consistently, or am I swinging between big wins and big losses? Because consistency matters more than occasional big wins. Now, it has other features as well that are very, very useful. I personally find the playbook strategies one very, very useful, right? This is where your trading playbook comes in, right? A playbook is simply a defined strategy or setup that you trade repeatedly, but tracked with rules, data, and feedback. So instead of saying, I took a trade, you're asking yourself, what setup was this? Why did I take it? Did it follow my rules? Now, here's how a playbook works. Each playbook here outlines a specific strategy that I trade. So I have my strategy divided into 3 different market conditions. You can do it too. You can have a different set of rules if you're trading the expansion versus a pullback, or let's say a no news day versus a red folder day. Or for my London traders out there, Asia expansion day versus a non-expansion day. So you can have different set of rules that apply to the different market conditions. Now, the way you create your own playbook or strategy is you go here, you say create strategy, and you're going to get 2 options. Either you can create one from scratch, or you can browse one of the templates. We're going to create one from scratch for this one. Here, what you're going to do is you're going to name it. So let's say we are looking at days when Asia expands. Okay, we're trading the window post Asia expansion. Now, you can put an icon here, right? Be creative with it. Put a description if you want to. Now, inside that playbook, right, you're going to track your win rate, your profit factor, the number of trades you've taken, the executed trades, and most importantly, your rules. Now, your rules here they're broken down into different categories. You can have entry criteria, you can have exit criteria, you can have different market conditions, you can have a walk away protocol. So these things are all up to you, right? Whatever you want to put in terms of rules, you put them down here. Now, let's say I have a rule when Asia expands, and that could be that I'm only going to trade the trend. Now, what that basically means, whichever side Asia has expanded, whether towards the upside or the downside, that's the direction I'm going to trade London in as well. Now, first rule could be that I have a fixed risk to reward, right? So I could stick to my 1 to 3, right? Another rule could be that I'm only trading the first hour of London, right? And finally, you can put down maybe, the high time frame aligns with the middle time frame, right? Whatever basically is part of your plan, you just put it down here, okay? Once you've put down all your rules here, you say create, and then it will take you back to the strategies page, and this is where you're going to see it. Now, every time you take a trade, right, you tag it to a playbook and confirm, right? Did this trade actually meet my rules that I've set for myself, or I just got into a trade because I felt like it? And I'm going to run through exactly how you can tag it as well. Another thing before I jump into explaining how to tag your trades in accordance to the strategy you traded is a very interesting feature here as well. So you go into your strategy and you can actually log in your missed trades. Now, this is, I think, one of the coolest features in there, because that basically means that setups you should have taken, but then maybe you were a bit hesitant, maybe you weren't sure, you can actually log them in as well, right? Now, why does that matter? Because now you're not just studying losses, you're studying missed opportunities, discipline, execution gaps. And over time, these patterns actually become very obvious, right? Which setups are profitable, which ones look good but don't pay, which rules matter, which ones don't, right? Now, the way you're going to do it is you're going to say create missed trades, okay? You're going to choose whatever market you trade. For me, it's going to be forex. I'm going to say Euro USD. I'm going to create new execution. Select the date. Let's say I missed an opportunity last Wednesday, right? So I'm going to select that. I'm going to select the time as well. So you're going to put in 1. The number of contracts, let's say it's 10. Let's say you're selling at a price of 1.19988. The day of closure is 28. I say the first 2 hours of London is what we traded. 1 again, 10. We're going to buy because we're trying to close the trade. 1.19633. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're just going to say save trade. Now, once I've built this, right, I can check how the trade performed, right? So if you click here, you'll see you were able to make 4 cents. But this is actually just to give you an idea about how to log in trades that you have missed. Now, the goal here isn't to have 10 playbooks, right? The goal is to build 1 to 3 high quality setups, track them relentlessly, and refine them until they are bulletproof, right? That is how you stop gambling and you start trading like professionals. Now, if you don't have a playbook, you don't have a strategy, I would suggest you starting from there. Actually create one so you can utilize them and apply it to the trades you're taking. Now, another very useful thing, and this is coming down to how you're going to tag your strategy as well, is the trade view. Okay, now in trade view, basically, you're going to see the number of trades you've taken in the accounts that you're actually linked in. Now, how you tag the playbook to the trade you've taken, you just open any of the trades you've taken, right? Let's start with Euro USD, a loss that I took on Thursday. Now, the way you're going to go about it is this, right? You're going to go to strategy, and I've already tagged in my the one that I use, but you can add strategy here, right? You can add multiple of them or one, whichever one fits best. Now, this is where you're going to see the rules as well that you created for yourself, right? Now, this aligns perfectly with how my playbook works, how the rules I've set for myself, and you can do the same, right? Now, coming back to the stats. Now, this is very informative. It's going to tell you the kind of trade you've taken, the amount you lost or you won. You can grade your trade as well, right? So you can rate it out of 5. It'll tell you the initial targets. I was, targeting A1 to 3. So you can also see the entry and exit. So I entered somewhere around here and got stopped out here. You can actually replay the trade as well, right? So see for yourself the decisions you took candle by candle. So if I just play it here, so this is where I entered, and I was in a bit of profit, but then it eventually hit my stop loss, right? And this is where I got taken out. So it actually lets you relive the whole moment, which is quite cool. And I'll show you through my other trades as well. Let's say we look at this one here. This was on NAS 100. Took a buy from here, and all that is here. Now again, here you can put down trading notes, put down screenshots. I like to put in my winning trade as well, so that's the trade that I took. And it's quite useful, right? So whatever thoughts, emotions you had, you can actually pen them down here. And then finally, you have the running P&L, right? So it tells you actually step by step how much you were making. This trade was not in a drawdown even for a minute. I actually went to hit my target, and it actually ran almost an hour. Started at 5 and target got hit at 6 o'clock. So pretty cool, actually. Utilize these features and collect as much data as possible. Now, there's so many good things about this. Another important thing, right, is the reports part. Now, the real power of Tradzilla, in my opinion, is the reports. I think it works even better when you have a bigger sample size. So in my opinion, this is where actually traders get humbled, right? In a good way. Now you can break down the performance by day and time, symbols, the strategy that you've traded. This is where basically assumptions go out the window, because you might be thinking that Mondays are the worst days, but the data might show you different, right? Monday could be one of the best days for you. Or you might think, oh, a certain pair is not working well for you, right? And here it will show you all the pairs you've taken on the account, and I'll show you how much you've made through each one of them. Okay, you might think a certain pair works for you, but the data might be like, it's bleeding your account for months. Now, TradeZilla, it doesn't care about how confident you feel, right? It's going to show you the raw reality, and I think that is amazing. Now, I'll finish with this. Journaling, it isn't about being perfect or disciplined every single day, right? It's just about being honest. Because if you don't write things down, your brain fills in the gaps for you, and it usually makes up scenarios that are not there, right? It tells you you're doing better than you are, or that the market's the problem, or that you'll fix it next time. The TradeZilla journal, however, doesn't do that, right? It shows you what actually happened, and once you can see it clearly, it becomes easier from there, right? That is why journaling matters, not because it makes you money instantly, but because it helps you stop repeating the same mistake. So whether you use TradeZilla, a notebook, or a Google Doc, just start writing things down. That's how trading stops being random and starts being intentional. And that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one.